Today, from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin, this is the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers taking on Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers.
This is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Green Bay Packers. Here's the former Florida Gator Eddie Pinheiro to get us started. And off we go from Lambeau. Taking it about the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Veteran Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers ready to go for drive number 1 along with the rest of this Packer offense.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see how he would blossom as an NFL player who will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship.
And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
That's a nice job there, foiling what all offenses try to do, which is control the defensive end in the running game. They want to get to the outside, and if he keeps himself free, stays on his feet, he can make a play just as he did there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll go again to Jones. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough.
Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you've got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by Sam Darnold in his 5th year now out of USC.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise, and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
And some room to roam now. So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook. They can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Off of play action, Darnold. He'll find his man, Terrace Marshall, complete. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Another first down there as this one goes for 25.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Darnold now to throw. Complete on the quick throw to Moore. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Well, only 3 plays in here, but really, Charles, a solid start for this offense. And now we'll see if they can continue their mission to end this drive in 6.
And I wonder if their play caller right now is reflecting on that last big play that they've had on this drive. Do you come back with something similar, or do you have a counter to it to kind of show it and go to something else and create another big play?
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now Foreman. Oh, what a move. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Deontay Foreman, an 18-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers have taken the early lead on the road here at Lambeau. You can talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple of tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on that defensive side of the ball.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And this will be good to give the Panthers a 7-0 lead. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it was finished off by Deontay Foreman on the touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. And Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Rodgers now to throw. Buying time to his left. And able to find Allen Lazard. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Rodgers teaming up with Lazard there for a Packer first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. And Lazard's got it again. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now it's Rodgers. They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Panthers are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 38. A run by Foreman to start the drive. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 53 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Darnold on first down. He gets it to Thomas. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Just a yard to go here on second down. They'll run with Foreman. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Darnold. Throw left side complete. That's Hubbard. And he'll be marked out at about the 26-yard line.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we get everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. To throw again on second down, Darnold, and that is incomplete, nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up third down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
Darnold to throw again. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. And he is going to have a Panthers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
I like the call on 3rd and 2. They were geared up to stop the run. I like the fact they just hit them quick. Little slant route. All about timing there, partner.
Yeah, the timing, everything well executed. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now it's Darnold. Thomas has got it. Complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
2nd and 6 from the 10. Here's Foreman. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field. I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Sharon Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Eddie Pinheiro on now. From the left hash, this from 37. The kick by Pinheiro is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. Nixon now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he stopped immediately there. Gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down. It looks like, yes, it is 6 defensive backs on the field for Carolina.
They're going with a dime set. Now a draw play. This is Jones. Ooh, with a juke. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Caught by Cobb. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. To throw is Rodgers. They're going for Lazard, but this is intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
After the interception, here's Darnold. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On 1st and 10, Darnold steps away to his left. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
A first carry for the Canadian-born Chuba Hubbard. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
A 1st down throw, Darnold. He gets this one to Hubbard, complete. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second down and 12 at the 19-yard line. A give up the middle, Hubbard. And he'll get this down only to the 18. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on 3rd.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. This is up and good from Pinheiro. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. Fielded just outside the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them.
Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense.
He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 36 yards on the play.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Here's Rodgers to throw. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
That was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the delay, Jones. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Now Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Rodgers going to throw. His throw incomplete.
All right, Captain, let's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. This is caught. And he is out of bounds here. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch a game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Rodgers going to go on 4th down. Touchdown! Robert Tunyon. Excellent work there to get in on the touchdown run. And the Packers' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and it's now 13-7. the touchdown. Here's Crosby to kick it away. Here's Roberts to bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A carry for Foreman. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 69 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll run out of the gun. It's Hubbard. Devontae Wyatt there for the stop.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now Darnold going to take it and just bat this one forward to his wideout. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Back to throw, Darnold. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw and coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will stay a 1-score game as the lead will hold at 6. Now the Packers get set to go. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd down, another shot for Jones. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Right side to Watson. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They're going to run the jet sweep. It's Cobb with it. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
He's going to get this one complete here to Cobb. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage 1 play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far on this drive. This offense on the march.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And it's a Packers touchdown.
Robert Tonyan
With his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Packers are an extra point away from capturing the lead.
CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Now Crosby for the point after. And this puts him on top by a penny. It's 14-13. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it was Robert Tonyan capping it all off on the touchdown grab.
After the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Taken in at the 3. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
Carolina getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 31-yard line.
Here's Darnold. Being chased out left. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Darnold. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 44-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Darnold. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 32-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. In this case, he picks up a first down.
And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Darnold. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Hubbard is in. Touchdown, Carolina.
That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 6-point game. That time, a 9-play drive.
And it was Chuba Hubbard who finished it off with a touchdown run.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off.
From the 6. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. They came out not so hot. The first quarter, they were sputtering a little bit, but they seem to have stayed the course and really righted the ship here in the second.
Well, let's face it, all the preparation that goes into getting ready for a game, all the scouting reports, the practice, the repetition, sometimes you get a little bit of a lull to start things off. Maybe you get a little flat, but if you put in that time, you put in that effort, it can come back to you, and that's what we're seeing so far.
Now can they keep that momentum going?
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rodgers.
He's got the hook up with Dobbs. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Flush to his right. Able to find Lazard. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Starting to rack up the yardage here in this first half. 5 catches now and a first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Matt Rule not a big fan of that last call, and he's going to go ahead and challenge it. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So Matt Rule able to challenge that one successfully.
Here's Pat O'Donnell on now to punt it away. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Now the Panthers offense gets set, come back onto the field.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll drop to throw.
Complete to Deontay Foreman at running back.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards and a Panther first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Forced out to his left. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Darnold now to throw. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now following the sack, Darnold and Carolina left with a 3rd and long. Up the middle they go. Foreman, and he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the 1st down marker. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
22 yards there, a 1st down.
Well, they showed a 5-receiver set, had the backfield empty, and lined the running back out to the left. Plenty for the quarterback to process both pre- and post-snap, but he was able to find his man, and it turns into a big play.
Rodgers to throw once more. And he wisely will throw that one away.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Here's Rodgers. This is Cobb with a catch right side. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. The kick by Crosby is good, and that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
4 seconds, all that remain here in this first half as the kick gets away. Fielded just outside the goal line. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised, just a field goal separating these two teams, as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Godden.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. These offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Come the Panthers, they'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down, because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Second and 5 now. Darnold. This is Chenault on the receiving end. It'll be a gain of 5. And 3rd and 1 now.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. They'll look to throw here. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, Darnold. Over the middle, he's got Chenault. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
But whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice. Is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Throwing again is Darnold. He finds his man, complete. It's Hubbard. Touchdown, Panthers. Chuba Hubbard. He scored on the ground and through the air as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield in the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. Fields it right around the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. That's complete to Dobbs. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. A check down here to Jones. And this will not get close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the 26. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Gets past one man. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return, and the Panthers will take over now 1st and 10. Sam Darnold and the Panthers now readying for their next drive. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay,
We just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter and continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time?
They were really good on the last drive.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
They'll run on first down. Foreman. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory.
91 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Darnold.
Dancing to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Jalen Reed picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack in this one.
And you just can't ask a defensive end or an edge rusher to play any better than what we're seeing right now. And, partner, it's still just the 3rd quarter. I'm thinking he's not done yet. Even if he's not getting a sack, he's bringing a lot of pressure to the pocket.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The drive starts with a carry by Dillon.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That first down run could not have turned out worse for a defense because when they came out on the field, their #1 mission, keep them stacked up close to their goal line and at worst, create great field position for their offense.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Rodgers now to throw. And he'll just get rid of it.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
They'll try and run for the first with Dillon.
Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He corrects.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. Now the offense for the Panthers here getting the football back. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
On second down now, Foreman. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Now it's Darnold. Flushed out right. He finds his man, complete. It's Hubbard. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a 1st down.
Darnold on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a 1st down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. To throw is Darnold. Steps away to his left. So they hit pay dirt, but don't count it yet. There's laundry on the field. We'll see what the penalty flag is about. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a handoff up the middle. Foreman, and a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Hubbard. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Darnold. There's Trimble, the tight end. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the 1st down. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
Eddie Pinheiro on now. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Pinheiro is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
2nd and 5 now. Rodgers throwing middle, and it's complete. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now it's Rodgers. That's complete to Cobb. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. This is Lazard with a catch out left. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Up the middle, Jones. Tackle made by Ole Miss's Marquise Haynes.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
4 receivers to keep tabs on here. 3 of them to the right side on 2nd and 5. Here's Rodgers to throw. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 25 yards that time.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Rodgers going to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Robert Tonyan. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yes, multiple series now they've ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
Extra point try now for Crosby. And the lead will shrink to 6. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was Robert Tonyan capping it all off on the touchdown grab. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. Just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals. Just something magical about breaking that barrier.
And he's right there on the doorstep now. He was looking to get that one to DJ Moore, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Meanwhile, Darnold's throw into the hands of the receiver, Shenault. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? Not like any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. They were in the dime. They had 6 defensive backs there. So go ahead and throw it. He threw it, and it hurt him.
It's almost thrown into a blanket of coverage, isn't it? You talk about the best defenders you have are the defensive backs. 6 of them on the field. You're almost asking for trouble, and that's exactly what they ran into. Ended up throwing a pick 6.
Yeah, 6 defenders and 6 points. Now Crosby for the point after. And that one puts them on top here in the 3rd. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Roberts electing not to try it, and this will come out to the 25. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a give right side. Foreman. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 101 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Again, it's Foreman. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Panthers on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw, Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed. Unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Carolina. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 27. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Now Rodgers.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Carolina offense about ready to go. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. A first down throw, Darnold. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. And they got to go thank the guys on D.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Back to throw here. Being chased out left.
And that nearly intercepted. Oh, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's 2nd down.
It's been a nice day for him as a passer and as a runner. One of the few mistakes he's made in this ball game. The wrong choice on that one. That one goes incomplete.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's Darnold. Over the middle, complete. That's Hubbard. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Off of play action, Darnold. And his throw is incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Darnold from the gun. Wide open, it's Marshall, complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 16. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Foreman. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Behind the chain, 2nd and 12.
Now Darnold. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall.
And the Panthers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Here's Darnold. And it's incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But they'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. To the air again, Darnold. Just keeping the play alive. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, here's a classic second guess. I thought he had a better chance of a positive play if he just ran it himself. The coverage downfield was really good. That one falls incomplete.
A big one coming for kicker Eddie Pinheiro. This for a 4th quarter lead. This is up and good from Pinheiro. And they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. Taken in at the 3. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
2nd down and 7. They'll go again to Jones. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the 1st down as well.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
J.C. Horn up to make the tackle.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. That's taken in by Watson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on third down. To throw is Rodgers. Able to find Lazard. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. Going old reliable there to the slot on third down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? You go with a bigger guy to try and use size. Can't go with try and go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers.
Got Dobbs over the middle.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. And again, it's Rodgers. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, is going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. For the lead, here's 3rd and goal.
Here's Rodgers.
Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon.
A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
All right, field goal gets you the lead here. I mean, but I might want to just go ahead and go for something big.
Oh, come on, you got to kick it.
I mean, you got to be glad I'm not the head coach here, right? The whole team would want to revolt at this point.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a 4th quarter lead. The kick by Crosby is good, and they have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties.
This one fielded at the 5. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it, and you've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Forced out to his left. This will be caught downfield by Marshall. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all, because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Darnold. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Wyatt.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
If they get nothing else here on 3rd down, it'd be a 53-yard attempt from this spot. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Able to complete this to Shenault. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Darnold now to throw. Throw left side, going to be caught by Shenault. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. And this is going to be incomplete. That has to feel like a very unsatisfying drive, right? You move the ball all that way, and then you can't convert on 3rd down.
But it was satisfying up until that point. Almost like a great movie, and then the film cuts out before the big ending.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for a fourth quarter lead. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So it's another field goal here. He may need to ice his leg after this one. That's now 5 field goals converted in this game alone.
Yeah, get the trainer. They're going to need this guy. And they've needed every single one of the field goals he's made, too. If they're going to get out of here with a win, I say he gets a game ball.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. To throw, it's Rodgers.
A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Rodgers again now. Dancing to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw finds its target, Dobbs. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
1st down now, but the clock continues to move. To throw is Rodgers.
And oh, that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw, Rodgers.
And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted.
Dante Jackson picks it.
When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
They'll start the drive with a give to Foreman. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. They run again with Foreman. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now it's Darnold. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for Carolina. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. So Aaron Rodgers and his offense down by 2, 20 seconds to go. Needing at least 40 yards, you'd have to think, to have a shot. Now Rodgers. Watson making the catch. And he'll get him a first down up past the 40 as the clock ticks on. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Rodgers to throw. Pass complete, Tunyon. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. He'll look to throw. This for all the marbles. And it's incomplete. Rodgers has done it before, but he won't get the connection here, and the ball game is over. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.